It is extremely important to me that the stories we share are authentic and that we strive to tell both perspectives. I've been a local to this remarkable island 3 times and a tourist too many times to count. Our Home Your Holiday celebrates Aruba. There's a reason why Arubans are so patriotic, and there's a reason why visitors keep coming back. Let's dive into the elements that makes Aruba our home and the perfect holiday. Travel day can be exhausting. You've got to carry your suitcases and make every checkpoint through the airport. But there are unsung heroes out there that are carrying an extra bag with life in it from the island to give them a second chance. The Aruba airport is typically a busy place. At departures, it is generally filled with tourists traveling home after vacationing in Aruba. In a sea of passengers, there are also visitors of the island who are carrying an extra something for an incredibly good cause. The special helpers are known as Animal Rescue Flight Volunteers. Denise and Ron Butcher work closely with the Luna Foundation to transport puppies off the island. Winnie and Shelby are their 11th and 12th puppies they are taking back to their hometown of New England. One may think being a flight volunteer is a hassle and tedious, but according to these 2 very experienced transporters, it is a seamless process.
The transition is very simple. You become a flight volunteer, you fill out a simple application. If they have dogs that are under 20 pounds ready to go to some state, then they'll contact you. They meet you here at the airport. They make the arrangements with the airlines. All you do is take them through customs. You bring them to the terminal. You bring them on the plane with you, and then you get them to your destination, and they meet you. If we're not keeping the dogs, then the foster or the adoptive parents meet you right at baggage claim at your airport, and they take possession of their dog.
Wonderful experience for even us. I mean, every time we do it, it's a great thing.
It's the best day of your life to adopt a dog from Luna Foundation. You're going to get multiple years of happiness with that dog, and it's going to bring love and joy, unconditional.
These dogs have been to the vet yesterday or the day before. They're all checked out. They're all microchipped. They've had their first shots. I mean, they're ready to go.
Right.
Bea Leba is Luna Foundation's volunteer for the Butcher's trip. With any animal transport she handles, she will accompany the flight volunteers and puppies through the airport. Inside, she waits in line with Denise and Ron, plus Winnie and Shelby, until they get called to the airline counter. Volunteers from the foundation, such as Bea Leba, are present and available for any support the tourists traveling with the puppies may need, and they are there to answer any questions the airline agents may have. She is even along for the trip through customs. You'll notice Bea Leba is holding onto a Ziploc bag. This trusty bag is secured with everything the travelers will need for the pups on travel day.
The original papers, a toy, there's a nylon bone to chew on it, a color, a water bowl, some wipes, some pee-pee pads, garbage bag and gloves.
So everything.
Everything
that you need. Aruba is overwhelmed with dogs. Flight volunteers help immensely to alleviate the overpopulation. Every animal leaving the island goes to a home ready to care for a new pet, and if a home isn't secured yet, according to Ron and Denise, it takes a maximum of 7 days in their hometown until a new family takes the dog in for good. For volunteers of animal foundations, taking the dogs to the airport and saying goodbye is a great feeling.
It's good to help them. If you see them when you pick them up out of the bushes and they're terrified, and now you bring them to the airport and they're happy dogs. So that's good.
Zoe is the founder of Luna Foundation. She says it is their job to prepare everything for the puppy departure from A to Z, so minimal effort is required from the rescue volunteers.
To be a flight volunteer, people would think, oh, that's a hassle. It's not. All you got to do is sign up. Sign up and show up. We do everything. We make sure the paperwork is done. We pay the airline ticket. It costs you nothing but puppy snuggles. So we meet you at the airport. We walk with you to the counter. We walk with you till customs. You walk in with the puppy. You go through customs with it, which is also smooth. They just got to make sure the puppies are clean. They check their health certificate, and that's it. Your whole trip, you pull attention. You're like an attention magnet because the puppy draws attention. By them drawing attention, that's the Flight Volunteers moment to promote the different foundations. It doesn't only have to be Luna. We have 7 foundations on the island. Encourage people to go on any rescue page and sign up to be a Flight Volunteer. You save a life. It gives you a good feeling. Who doesn't love puppy snuggles?
Ron and Denise are repeat visitors of Aruba. They've been coming to the island twice a year for 6 years. They do a lot more than transport the animals. Every time they vacation here, they roll up their sleeves and contribute to this one happy island.
Rod and Denise have been with us for 4+ years. They're not tourists for us anymore, they're family. In their vacation, they always come to our sanctuary and they work their butts off in the sun and they're filthy after. They help us clean, and when it's time to leave, they always take a puppy or 2 if we have them. We're forever grateful. They bring us supplies, bags full of supplies. So they know what we need, whether it's toys, collars, leashes, beds. They always ask, what do we need, so that they can bring it to us.
Like Zoe said, all you have to do is sign up and show up. Go to luna-aruba.com to fill in an application to become a Flight Volunteer, or head over to their Facebook page to see what the foundation does year-round. While on the beach, be on the lookout during the months of March through July in Aruba, because there could be a leatherback sea turtle sighting on shore. Sea turtle mamas will come on the beach during these months to lay her nest. Once she does what she needs to do in the sand, the incubation period is 2 months. Then you could potentially see baby turtles hatching and making their way into the ocean to begin their life. After the last nest, it is possible to see activity all the way into September for the leatherbacks. This is, of course, a beautiful cycle of life. There is so much we can learn about these magical reptiles, and there is so much we can do as members of the community to protect and even help the species before, during, and after the hatching season.
The turtles are going down in number all over the world, not just here on Aruba. And they have their function in our ocean. They are so important. They are also very charismatic animals, but they also have their function. For example, this leatherback, they don't live here in the Caribbean. They live in the Atlantic Ocean because they feed on very, very big jellyfish. And they don't find them here in the Caribbean. And if they don't eat them, we have a lot more jellyfish, and jellyfish eat plankton, and so everything is connected. If we don't have plankton anymore, we don't have fishes and anything. So sea turtles really play a very important role in our ecosystem, and they exist for more than 100 million years. And I don't want humanity to make an end of this.
With what Edith said, the success rate for the hatching season is all the more important. Laura has been a volunteer with the Tortuga Foundation since 2017. She explains some of the threats and what to do and not do if you come across a laying mother or the moment the eggs hatch.
For the laying mothers, it's always important to keep the beaches as dark as possible. This includes all artificial lights, from buildings, from car lights, but also from our flashlights or on our phones. If a turtle is going to come up and she wants to lay a nest, if she sees a lot of light, she can get scared and go back into the ocean. The opposite is for hatchlings. They will be attracted to the light, which we don't want. We don't want them to go on the streets. Another point is not driving on the beach. It still happens a lot. On this side, we mark the nests very well, very obvious. But on other more wild beaches, we mark it with driftwood. So it is often that we've had tracks right next to the nest, which could affect also the hatchlings and the nest itself.
Laura gives us a play-by-play look into the mother hatching her eggs, which can be up to a 2-hour process on shore.
We'll start burying her own body, which is what we call a body pit. And then with her hind fins, she's gonna scoop sand and then scoop with the other sand, and that's called the chamber, until she can't read, until nothing more comes up, and then she's gonna lay her eggs, and afterwards she's gonna start covering with her hind fins.
One of the most fascinating things the volunteers told me about the hatching period is that Aruba's natural element can impact the number of males and females baby sea turtles being born into the earth.
When the turtle female lay the eggs, then they are neutral. They are not male, not female yet. And the temperature in the 3rd, 4th week will determine if there are more males or more females coming out of the nests. And the temperature, the hotter, more female, the cooler, more males. And because of the always blowing wind and the white sand, we think we produce, or we have done a study about that also, more males. And that is very good nowadays with the climate change and the global warming, because in the whole world, the number of males is going down. And we need them.
Call the Tortuga Foundation hotline if you see any sea turtles on shore. This is Winston, who also answers to Winnie Pooh. And this is Penelope, who is known as Penny Cat. Both are household pets. Anywhere in the world, when an individual decides to become a pet owner, it is a big responsibility. Besides for providing your pet with maybe a doggy bed or a good cat litter box, perhaps it's a basket full of dog toys. There's just a whole lot more responsibility that goes into it. Yes, they are fluffy and cute. They are also yours for their lifetime. Treat them well and they'll be lifelong friends. Let's speak to locals and tourists on the island on what it means to become a pet owner.
Well, I think everybody, when you choose to have, a dog or a cat, any kind of animal, you need to protect them. They're like your children. So it's everyone's responsibility to take care of, it's like your children, like I say.
I believe that as an animal owner, when you adopt an animal, you take on that responsibility of that animal for its lifetime, not just while it's convenient for you.
Love that like a child. That's what they are. I mean, they're family, so you can't put that past you.
Eigenlijk, aqui na Aruba, nós temos mais responsabilidade de bebe's não. Para sobre mirando riba cai, tem hobby bebe's não com a loss e mirando toch. Ja, nós estamos probando de fazer algo nós mesmos, meta tem cachorro também com ele, pero tem hobby gente que não está sendo assim. Então toch tá pedi toch na comunidade também para fazer algo que bebe's não aguenta, não para dentro. So, vou passar de bacaia, bota mira hobby bebe's da morte, então coisa ainda triste, vou como pero se vou aguenta não para dentro, nós não tem problema não. Também dus a medida que pedindo na comunidade, please, aguenta vos bebe's não para dentro. E é suna quando estima bebe'cia, busca bebe'cia também, nós tem hobby animal shelter também quando bebe'cia para adoptar. Também por ajuda bana também, segundo Luna também onde não também que tinha sei.
There's room for improvement when it comes to pet care on the island. So it's a good thing the Ministry of Nature is working on proposing a new law for a future free of animal abuse. The new law is based on the one in the Netherlands, and there's 4 main articles of the law to adopt for Aruba. In the Animal Welfare Ordinance, the Minister of Nature is proposing to structure the system of ownership of animals to ensure their welfare. This applies to dogs, cats, and other domesticated animals. Main articles to the law include registration via microchipping for pets and domesticated animals, spaying and neutering, special registration via microchipping and licensing for breeders of pets and other domesticated animals, concrete regulations regarding crimes and violations related to animal abuse with punishments including sanctions and jail time. Here's what visitors and members of our local community have to say about the new proposed laws by the Minister of Nature.
I think this can really help our well-being of the animals, and I feel like that it's a positive and good thing.
Back home, they microchip the dogs, they spay and neuter them.
As a dog owner and as a local, how do you feel about these small steps?
Well, small steps com de microchips tá hobby bom também, para sobre se o cachorro me se perde também. Dependendo, mas o parque também tu usa vendia também microchips também, que me parece o cachorro perde mes, kunang hayele, kunang po scanne, então não po haye também, que me amita haye e microchips tá bom no seu lugar.
I mean, it's good because, if your dog gets lost, you can basically get a microchip and you can find it.
Microchipping, spaying, neutering are a good thing, and I hope the law passes.
So you think that these laws could be very good for the island?
Yeah, they could be, because there's a lot of stray dogs in the street, and it will be better, to have less, because some of them are like really mistreated. People abandon the dogs everywhere, and it's not cute to see.
I wasn't sure about the current situation, but that they're implementing like these new things, that's pretty neat. It would put me at a peace of mind living here.
And do you think these proposed new laws could be very good for our animals?
Yes, dus met tayo sa ko ta hopi bom mes panang hasil.